Okay, yeah, you're gonna kill me.
Now I can hear you.
No,
There we
it
go.
wasn't you. It was me. I literally was like,
Oh.
what are the odds that it's the microphone that I'm using? And because the mute button was blinking, and I thought that's what it
Uh-huh.
meant, like you're not being recorded. And then I was like testing it, and I didn't
Mm.
see like the volume thing. And I was like, oh my God, she's gonna kill me. It's me.
No, you're good. It happens. It's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely not your headphones.
I was freaking out. Like, yo, I'm like, what's going on here?
At least
I'm
we
like, geez.
practiced that you could read my mouth and you could tell what I
Yeah.
was saying.
Creative juice.
If you don't mind, like I have so many questions. Like it's not even sometimes photo related. I just like, we haven't talked, just kind of
Yeah.
DM. How old are you?
I'm the same age as you. I'm actually 28. I'll be 29 this month.
Oh, okay, you're 92.
Yeah, most
Okay.
definitely.
It's crazy because like I talk to different people and then I'm just kind of I don't even know anymore their age.
Yeah.
And then I kind of want to make like a timeline, like, okay, like these photographers are like this age, and then there's like
Mm.
us, and then there's like older people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like there was somebody in my class, like I just see them on Zoom, and then I
Mm.
saw them in person for the first time, and I was like, whoa, you don't look
The
totally what
same.
I thought. He was much shorter in person, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
wow.
Because he's sitting
Gotcha.
down. And I felt like I
Yeah.
didn't want to insult him, but I was just like, oh, you're shorter. Like, oh no. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. But what
um,
age? But honestly, I would ask you this question: what age did you expect I was? Like, I know a lot of people assume differently.
so I know the whole like black don't crack kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, if I didn't know that you were a parent, it would either be like you were a young parent. I mean, you're still a young parent, but I was
Yeah.
thinking before you even mentioned that we were similar in age, probably even younger than me at least.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were my age. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I kind of get. Yeah, I'm used to that. I'm used to it. Honestly, I'm really
yeah.
Sometimes it's a good thing, but other times it's like moments, especially when I'm like whenever my younger brother or sister, because they like 6 7 years younger than me, and when I'm with them, a lot of people just assume that they're older than me, and I'm like, no, I'm older than them. Like I'm the big sister, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Are you the oldest amongst your siblings?
No, I'm the second oldest.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's four of us. I'm the second oldest, but I'm the
Gotcha.
shortest and the smallest. So if you see us together, it's like, oh no, why do you? What happened to you? They like huge. They're like baby brother, he like 6'5", and my baby
Yeah.
sister 5'9", and I'm only 5'3". So comparison, you'd
Okay.
be like, what happened to you? Yeah.
All right, we're the
So
same height, so it's all good. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so well, I guess we'll just start from the beginning because like for real, like I don't know anything that besides what I've seen on YouTube. Um so well, big question is like I don't have any friends named Ahza, right? And
Mm.
is there any story behind your name or if that's even your real name? I know some people actually on YouTube who don't use their real name, so that's a whole nother
No,
story.
it's one. Yeah, that's it. That is one of those stories. It's not my real name. I go by Ahza because it totally different from my government name, my biological name.
Uh-huh.
Reason why I didn't use my real name is because I feel like with Ahza, it just kind of make people wonder, respect, like, oh, I never heard that name before. Like, who is this person? But with I'll tell you, my real name is Jakayla, and with that name, I feel like I still feel like a little girl. That makes sense. When people say it, they say it in a way it's like, oh, Jakayla, you're so cute, this and that. And I'm like, people don't take me serious. And that's it. People say it that way. And I'm just like, I need people to take me serious. A lot of people like to underestimate me about the things that I do. And that's with everything, not just even just me creating. That's with me just doing basic things simply as cooking, cleaning, doing hair. Little basic things like that. A lot of people don't expect for me to do everything. They just think that what I perceive, a lot of people, well, I've been told this too. A lot of people just sit here to say that you don't look like this type to do this. You don't look like the type to do that. And it just basically me just trying to create me becoming the person who I really want to be and create that image is how people take me seriously, basically. And they're just one of those names. So
Interesting. How does that make you
yeah.
feel in regards to people not taking you seriously? Like, obviously that's like making you want to do something about it.
Yeah. Um, now my old self would have a response. Now I just came into like agreements with myself. It's like, you know what? I've grown to a point, especially now, I'm at a place where I'm tired of trying to prove to others, if that makes sense. Like, I just grown tired trying to prove myself to other people. It's like it's one of the situations where I'm just at a pace now. It's like if you believe in me, you do. If you don't, then I don't care anymore. Cause like at the end of the day, I have to be me and live for myself. you know. So that's where I'm at right now, and what I'm working on now to better myself overall for my own mental health and my own sanity.
Is there
And that's
like a
like
certain place that like you learned that or you read that somewhere? Like,
no, honestly, that's what I've been doing lately. After having surgery, another health issue has arisen, and it's to a point where I just gotta take things easily. So I'm good, but it has to be monitored, and I'm trying to do everything in my will and power to like not, overthink it. Because if I do, my anxiety comes up and kind of causes me to get depressed again, and it's like just I'm in this negative loop, and I'm just trying to learn to just take care of me because honestly, for the last, I would say honestly, my whole life, I always put myself last. And I always was worried about trying to make other people happy, trying to be the perfect this, that for everyone else instead of just being me. You know what I'm saying? Like I always have the awareness of who I am, but I always allow others to just like suppress who I am and trying to prove to others that I'm this, I'm that, I'm capable of doing all these things. And I feel like at the end of the day, like there was never I still didn't get what I don't know how can I explain it? It's like I still didn't get the expectation that I thought I would receive from them. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this because at the end of the day, I'm not happy. I feel like I'm living for others to live for myself. And with my health, I'm like, I have to take that seriously. Like I feel like this year it's like a force. I was forced to take a seat. Like you have to take care of yourself. And if not, like you're gonna lose yourself. So that's why I got to a point now. I'm just like, I have to some things I gotta say up it and just put myself first and just nobody cares. At the end of the day, is all I got is me. And if I don't take care of myself, then how can I take care of others?
yeah,
And then
100%.
in the terms, it really is my kids. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to have a real conversation with myself. Like I got to start proving myself to others. That's not healthy. If you really seriously think about it, it's not healthy. Because you shouldn't have to be living for others. You should just live for yourself and try to be the best version of yourself. And you cannot change people. You can't change their expectation, their perception of you. All you could do is control you and control what you can, like control yourself and you know what your control, well, not control, but like control yourself, your reactions, your abilities, do it all for you, because you can't change people's minds at the end of the day. You really can't. And that's
Yeah.
something I just been learning as with time. So yeah.
I
Sorry, I got
resonate with
sorry, I
that.
got more
No, no.
got so
That was mad
in depth
deep.
with that, but
Mic drop
seriously.
already. Yeah, I was just saying I resonate with that a lot. And man, I just like got in the feels listening to you. I feel like I was like, I've been preaching that, to everyone, and
Yeah.
it's not easy, definitely, to tell people how you feel, let alone just telling them your boundaries and what you accept, and
Most
just
definitely.
learning to just focus on yourself is not easy because you're so distracted by everything nowadays that it's hard to, you forget yourself. And I really appreciate you saying that. You said you put yourself last because you put others first, because that is a real thing, because we
Yeah.
care so much, and we're empathetic that I feel like this is a therapy session now. Yeah, you just like, because you want people like to be happy, right? So
Yeah.
like just as like your kids, like you want to see them smile and stuff, and if that you have to sacrifice a bit, just for that to happen, then you do so, right?
Yeah.
So
And I feel guilty about it too.
yeah.
So that's a big one too, feeling guilty about it. When you've been doing it for so long, it's like you start to feel guilty and it's like you feel like you don't deserve, like, no, I am being selfish. Like, no, I can't do this. It took a long time for me to just accept and like, no, it's okay. Like, it's okay to just take some time for yourself and just be you. Like, take care of you. You have to.
Yeah.
So most
Oh, I'm
definitely.
glad that you like, think about those things and do it. And like I said, not many pretty much do that. So I respect it a lot. Oh man, I'm just getting all teary now.
No, I didn't make it
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't mean to do that.
No. It's all good. That's something that I practice every day.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's definitely a process to
Yeah.
put yourself first. Talking about with you and YouTube, obviously if people haven't watched your channel, it's solely you. There hasn't
Yeah.
been any guests or anything.
Yeah.
And most of the time you're taking self portraits too,
Yeah.
which also is like another thing that could be difficult. Some people don't like looking at themselves, or they don't even like to take portraits in general. um,
Yeah.
so I guess I just want to know, like, what comes to mind when you just think about wanting to take self portraits and like just, doing the things that you do.
Honestly, when it comes to self portraits, how can I explain this? When I was younger, it was trying to see what everybody else said about me and trying to find the truth behind that. And then now it's currently just me. It's really solely just, I mean, well, overall, it always been self love. Because growing up, a lot of people thought me taking like selfies, whatever, they thought, oh, you just being conceited. But I'm like, in reality, I have low self-esteem. Like, dude,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
literally,
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, what do you guys see? What are you talking about? Like, I'm just trying to get comfortable, trying to love myself and like just build up my self-esteem. Whereas now when I do it for self-love, it's to remind myself, like, hey, you are still you. You are still in your 20s. Like, like enjoy yourself because like once I got married young and had my kids younger, and I'm like, part of me just felt like instead of me being 23, 24, in the earlier days, I was feeling like I'm like 38, like literally, like I just home, just this is my life. And I'm like, I need to remind myself, like, hey, you still young, enjoy your moments while you can, because you're not gonna be young forever, you know? And when I take myself portrait, it's just that reminder. It really is. It's just a reminder for myself to like, hey, love yourself. Because during the time period after I had my daughter, I wasn't in love with myself. I really went through postpartum depression and I was really, really low. Like in order for me to love myself again, like I was just hating everything about me. And to love myself again, I started taking pictures like, no, you're gonna force yourself. Like just do stuff. Like I started doing things that I wasn't like normally doing. Like I would do like wearing different color wigs. Like I never wanted to wear color hair. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna look good in this color. Like, no, that gonna look ugly. Like I just stopped forcing myself, like just doing things out of the normal and like just forcing myself, just be comfortable with being uncomfortable, really. And now it's just like just getting comfortable with wearing my natural hair, because that's something too. Like that took a long time for me to even trying to wear and love out in public. So it's really just me just challenging myself. Honestly, that's really what it is. Just proving
Yeah.
myself. It's like me in competition with myself. That's really what it is. Trying to prove to myself, like, hey, do this. Like, make yourself better. Because until I love myself, then everybody else can love me too, the way that I want to be loved. So that's really what
Man.
it is.
I
I'm sorry.
appreciate the drive. I feel the energy right now.
It's
um
true though. Like I
yeah.
really, over the years, it really took a long time for me to like verbally express myself and like, because a lot of people always make assumptions about me, and I'm like, over the years, yeah, I just get angry about it. I'm like, you don't even know me. Like, allow me to express myself. Like Jesus, like you would know the truth, but people always like, no, you this, you that. Oh, it's always negative, and I'm just like, that kind of just caused me to like, you know what? I'll just stay to myself, and just be alone. Like, no, I'm good. Like, you know yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, over the years, like a lot of people just been negative about it. I'm like, you didn't even get a chance to like get to know me, to know the truth. Like I will open up and tell you the truth, but a lot of people like, nah, you all that. Nah, you doing this for this and that. I'm like, okay. You believe that, then cool, like whatever. So
I feel like that with social media. I feel like a lot of people just assume by what they see, right?
yeah,
But then they don't know, exactly who you are. And then that just kind of, and then they act like they know you.
yeah,
And what you said, like a lot of people don't like to approach you. They like to just like follow you and just see what you're up to, but they don't want to admit that they want to know, right?
yeah,
Um, So no, I feel you on that. And like you mentioning like taking self portraits and like not because you're conceited. Like for me, like this is like a story. I don't like to post self portraits of myself even on my
Hmm.
story, because the moment I do, like mad dudes will like put that like heart eye emoji, and I was like, dang, like I just post one selfie out of like how many months that I've never done
Yeah.
it. And immediately it's like, they're just like, wow, like cute or whatever, whatever. And I'm like, this is why I don't feel comfortable posting a photo of myself,
Yeah.
because I just will get those kind of reactions. And like, you don't know what they mean by those emojis. Like,
That's the scary part. Now, see,
yeah.
even with that, like I don't post all my self portraits because I do have an understanding that I have more male followers and subscribers. So some things I do keep to myself. I'm like, if I post this, I don't know, men think totally different. I'm like, I don't want that reaction. I don't want, I don't want them to have this expectation thinking like, oh, she this type of person. I'm like, no, I'm nowhere near that. Like, dude, I'm just taking this photo for me. And just have a different mindset of me doing them self portraits. I'm like, no, I would keep this to myself. I am very, I'm sharing my work, but at the same time, I'm being like, I'm still just like, no, I only post this, I only post it, this, because I'm like, I don't want certain people to have a different like perspective of me, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to be free, but at the same time, it's like I have to limit certain things because, like you said, with men, is that fair? Because men can be kind of creepy, that is in a weird way. They can be. So like, I do be like, on a safe bound with some self portraits though. So
Yeah.
some I
But
just keep to
like what you
myself.
said though, being like in your 20s, like you're only in that age, um, let alone like I'm about to be 30 soon. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that.
uh
But it's just kind of like I thought to myself the other day, I was like, this is the time to document myself because my body, it's just in a sense like it won't be the same. So as a follow-up, okay, so when it comes to YouTube, what made you create a channel? Like, what made you had the boost? Like, let me like film myself and like just start like making videos on YouTube.
The same reason with the self portraits, just competing with myself, proving to myself that I can do it for so long. Well, to be honest, I had my YouTube channel up, but I was doing something differently. And I delete all the videos and then I just sit with film photography and then I'm like, just do it. It just challenging myself really. And the first video was with which one, my Super 8.
You're super eight, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just me just sharing my experience of just shooting film and just really just challenging myself to like prove to myself I could do this. For so long I wanted to do YouTube and I just kept just making excuses, really. And it just proving myself like do it, get over with. Because the more you
Yeah.
think about it, the more you're not gonna do it. And that's how I just created the channel, really.
And then like what pushes you like, okay, today I feel like I'm gonna film, make a video, do something.
At first I noticed I'm more consistent because like I don't know. I think I was just really hyped because I had an RZ. I don't know why. I was just so hyped and I was so excited. And like when we first moved here before COVID-19, that's really what it was. Just coming back up here because we were stationed already up here in Washington before. So yeah, I think I should mention that. Yeah, my husband, he's a soldier, so we already was
Yeah,
stationed
when
up
you
here
said
the first time.
station, I
Yeah, I
literally
just
was like,
yeah, maybe, but yeah, my husband's a soldier, so we were stationed up here from 2013 to 2017, and then we returned back 2019. And I was like, well, since we going back up here and I shoot film photography now, let me go out, let me just explore Washington fully because when we first got up here, I had my kids, so I'm like, no, this time around, let me just do that. I got a new camera, let me just take picture of what I see, and that's basically how I started, honestly. And then once COVID hit, and then I finished school, and it's student debts and everything, I'm just like student loans, and I'm like, oh, that's when I just start slowing down, really. So, I just got lost in my train of thought. What's the question again?
we're talking about like how you started on YouTube, and then
Okay,
pretty much you were saying how you were based in Seattle or like
yeah,
Washington, yeah.
yeah, but that's basically what it was. I was just excited shooting with the RZ, and then just being back in Washington again, and like let me just get out and just see different areas that I didn't get to explore the first time around, and just take a picture of it, really. And that's truly what it was. I mean, it still is to this day because still areas that I still want to go before we like leave here. like next year sometime. Like I'm like, I just need to get out and shoot, to be honest. But with COVID, kind of just slowed that down. And like I said, like just once I was done with school, I was more concerned about paying off my student loans, and I started working, and then basically everything else hit, and virtual learning with the kids in school, and that just everything's kind of just started taking over. And then with surgery now too, I just kind of just really, it's kind of really just forcing me to just slow down. Do I like it? Not really, but at the same time, it's like I'm just using this time off right now to just basically um take some time off, and then when I come back, I'll be stronger than before, really.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You should like
Yeah,
you said, take breaks and then like rejuvenate again.
yeah,
Not just keep like powering and like and just doing it over and
yeah,
over and getting burnt out.
yeah. Another thing too, I just try to like, you do when you go on social media, I find myself, it was a time period I was starting to compare myself. I feel like I wasn't doing enough, so I started criticizing myself, like, no, this not good enough. And like once I started having that feeling and that mindset, I'm like, that's my definitely know I need to take a break. I'm like, yeah, last thing I'm gonna do is create and then start preparing myself and then like lose track of myself, because like I feel like once you start doing that, you start being in tune with yourself when you start being like when you start creating, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when you start comparing yourself and feeling like, okay, you see somebody else do something, and it's like, oh, they did a good job, but like, damn, like, am I doing good enough? Like, do I need to do more? Like, that's when I start to feel like you start losing a sense of yourself, and you start questioning your creativity, and I don't think that's a good thing to do. And I really work hard to not do that. That's why I just try to like to stay in my own zone, in my own bubble, and not be so caught up with everybody else do. Cause I'm like, I feel like it does like interfere with my creativity, if that makes sense.
No, it completely does. Like for me, I can't follow like a million people, and I straight up tell
Yeah.
people like I'll still be your friend and I'll still like hit you up or
Yeah.
talk to you, but like I just can't see so many people on my feed, and it's like no disrespect. It's just I don't want to see too many things.
Yeah.
Like you get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Speaking of like you being in a bubble, as you mentioned before, um are you surprised when people are like, hey, watch your YouTube channel, like I've saw your
I
videos
know.
or I'm taking your photos? You're like, where did you
Yeah.
come from?
Yeah. I am like that. I'm like, where do you like? I'm like, how? I'm like, because I'm like, I don't have a big YouTube channel and I don't have a lot of followers. So I'm like, where did you find me from? And it's always a shock to me. And I'm like, but why? Why do you like my thing? I'm like, I'm like, to me, honestly, I think I'm like really boring. I'm like, I'm just playing Janie over here. Like, I'm not doing much. Like, I feel that like deeply. I'm like, I'm not doing much. Like, it's a shock. I'm happy. I'm grateful. People like what I do. But at the same time, I'm like I said, I'm in competition with myself. I'm like, no, it's not good enough. You gotta do more. You gotta do more.
Have
Better
like
than before.
any like this has happened to me, so I'm curious on your side. Has people like reached out to you and been like, oh, like I saw you and you inspired me, or like you're just seeing you do your thing on like taking photos or whatever? Like I don't know, I feel
Yeah,
like it. Yeah.
I have. And then not just with my YouTube channel with film photography, but before too, like I mentioned before, like what a lot of people don't know, like before film, I was still taking self portraits, but I just using a digital camera. And like how I mentioned before, like when I was just like getting out my shell, just wearing different wig colors and just experimenting, just changing my look, just to, like love myself again during that time period, I inspire like a lot of people that I didn't think I would, like even people I went to school with, like on my other Instagram channel, like my other Instagram, I have two accounts, my main account. Um, a lot of people who I went to school with, they're like, yeah, I'm inspired, this and that. I'm like, really? How? Like, like how? I'm just basically like a lot of people thought I was just doing it just because, but like I told you, like I was doing it just like to get out like out of that negative loop. Like I was like, no, I really need to like love myself here. But some ways, some people was inspired, and I was like, oh, cool. That's shocking. Not
Yeah.
expecting that, but and it's still like a shock to this day. Cause I'm like I said, I'm like, I don't think I'm all that. I just do this just because it's really for me to just be better. So yeah, that's how I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's cool. Like I'm grateful, but I still don't see what they see. It's one of the things I still don't see what you see. Like I just like personally, I just feel like I still need to do better. You know.
I mean, that's just like,
Yeah.
you being humble, but at the same time,
Yeah.
yeah, no one ever wants, well, hopefully no one ever wants to be that person who's like super cocky and it's like, I know I'm the shit or
Yeah.
whatever like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm married to one. That's why I'm like, no, no.
Okay.
Like, literally, I am. That's why I'm just like, no.
So you're saying that's how you guys balance each other out?
Yeah, we balance each other out because he would be like that, and I'm like, dude, you ain't shit. Like, I'm sorry, because like,
Oh
it is like, hold on,
man.
what?
You guys
No, like
crack me up.
we have a very interesting relationship. So yeah. And just even like not only with him, like he the conceited one, like he's the one who like, I am this way. And it's like, it's so funny. I'm like, well, people, when you look at him, you want to expect that from him. But when people look at me, they expect that from me. And then when they see us together, it's like, oh, y'all the two opposite. Like, yeah, no crowd. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
it's
What's
funny.
that? Don't judge a book by its cover type of thing.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. So, uh,
um I was like watching your videos and then you were mentioning a lot about how it's hard to shoot 35, right? That's like something you bring up all the time because
oh,
medium
yeah,
format's your jam,
it
especially that you
is.
have a Hassie now. um
Yeah, I
how's
do.
that going?
I'm thinking about selling it, to be honest, because I realize I don't need it. To be
I
honest,
thought you were
like
gonna say you don't like 6x6 because you're a six
no,
by
no, no,
seven.
no,
Okay.
no. I do. I love the format. And that's the reason why I want it. Like I brought it because I'm like I want to experiment to like see how it is, and I do. I love it. I mean,
Mhm.
for me personally, it doesn't make a difference. Like I'm not somebody who's like I'm not so into like the technical aspect of like film, like the cameras and the formats. Like I like this. Like I like what I like. And that's just it. But with 35, however, I love 35, but I don't like developing it. That's the issue
Okay.
because I'm someone who's really clumsy and like opening the canister is like, I'm scared I'm gonna cut myself in the dark. That's really what it is. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like, medium format, you just unroll paper, you good. Like 35, no, I would be in there struggling. So I'm like, nah, I think I'm just gonna stick with medium format. Like this works for me. And I'm like, do I really want to sit into the darkroom lab and like get a scan? I'm like, development scan. I'm like, nah, no, I'll stick to medium format. And so that's a real issue. I don't like developing it. That's really what it is.
Gotcha. So it's just pretty
Yeah.
much you don't want to cut yourself.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I'm clumsy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really the truth. So
Interesting.
yeah. But I do
Yeah.
love the format.
For me, I just don't like 35 because there's too many shots. It's a good and a bad thing, right?
Yes.
If you need the
Yeah.
shots, then okay. But if I just needed like something quick, right? Medium format is
Yeah.
either 10, 12, whatever. So you get
Then
the
35.
roll done. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly. Yeah.
true. Oh yeah, that too. That's why I want to shoot digital more because I'm like, you shoot all these frames and like, dude. And then when I shot 35, I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. And then I discovered medium format. I'm like, oh, this is even much better. So yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely agree on that. Absolutely.
You have to also just kind of believe that there are people out there that like what you like. You just
Yeah.
haven't found those people.
Yeah. Well, you just sum it up perfectly. That's what I've been trying to say. Instead of me going all around.
No, it's all good.
Actually
No, it's
walking
all
around
good.
like
Oh my gosh, you're
you
so
summed it
funny.
perfectly. But that's really what it is. Like trying to find the right people because like throughout my whole life I felt that way. Like just trying to find the right people. Like I feel like I probably had one or two, like three people at the that's probably I give five people at the most who really like accept me for like my true self. But like we always just separate. So like I end up just being around people who don't like accept the full me. They want me to be what they expect to be,
Yeah.
and that kind of just played a big role into me just, what just accepting myself, just allowing, what they think and their beliefs project on me. And that would kind of just played a role into me just fighting to trying to be the best version of myself, trying to just get back to being me, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of sad, because it does like who you surround yourself with, um and the people who you spend your energy with, like just if they have a bad energy or whatever, it's like it does play a role into who you are. And it's like that's why I'm just like very selective about who I bring around me and who I share myself with and everything, because like I'm just, at the end of the day, like I'm just trying to be the best version of me. If you're not on the same goal trying to better yourself, then it's like then I don't want to be like I don't want to deal with you, you know
Yeah.
unfortunately. And
Unfortunately.
some people, yeah, but some people take offense of that, and it's like it's not anything personal towards you. It's just that I'm here, and you might be way over there, and it's just like sometimes it's not gonna click, and some people just don't understand that. But it is what it is. Like if you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, what I was gonna say is okay. So this is my last question.
you
uh,
good?
yeah. Well, because I also have to like go too though.
Yeah,
Is I guess do you I mean it seems like it's up in the air, but like do you have any plans, or I guess like what do you look forward to in like I guess pretty much when it comes to taking photos, or I don't know about your channel. um
yeah. To be honest, because I've been thinking about it. I know you're gonna ask me that. I've been thinking about it, but honestly, to be honest, true, I honestly at the moment don't have any plans. I don't have anything planned at the moment. Like I said, right now my main focus is just taking things easily, honestly, at the moment. And mm, just flowing. I'm just going with the flow right now. Just taking things easy and just being not so hard on myself, not pressuring myself because I feel like I was doing that at a time period, especially now, like around earlier this year, like January. I really hard on myself. My dang, I produced no videos, thought of this and that. I need to get back into it, and I'm like, I need to stop pressuring myself. Like, I need to allow myself just to be okay. Like, I have to just be, just be easy on myself right now, and I would just know like when I am strong enough, then I come back and like create as much as I want to. And I am going to try to I'm trying to go back to do everything like I used to before I started school. So not only just doing film photography, but like include my music. A lot of people don't know I create music too, but create music and just evolve, like have every other things just in, like other things that I do creatively, like trying to make it all into one again. So that's kind of like the plan, but not exactly right now. Kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking a break, but hopefully in the future, wise, come back even more stronger than before.
yeah, I feel
So I
like
can know I have. Oh no,
yeah,
you got it.
go
Go
ahead,
ahead. No, no, you got it.
no, I was just gonna say I respect that. I mean, just take it day by day, especially, everything that's going on in the world. Like, I mean, that's what I would just hope for is just you to, take it easy and be happy and like just
Yeah.
figure it out as it goes. There's no need to rush. It's not like someone is you know, pressuring you to get it done now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And it's funny because like in my mind, I don't know about you if you experience that too, but like in my mindset, I would just happen to feel like somebody is pressuring me and like, no, I have to do this. I have to do this. And it's like, no, I don't. Like if it is, it's for me, and it's only should be for me, not for anybody else. And that's why I have to constantly like remind myself of like just make sure you're doing it for yourself and don't lose that. Because if you do, then that's when I kind of feel like you just lose everything altogether. So yeah, just keep reminding myself that I'm in competition with myself, and only person I can let down is me. So and right now, I'm just trying to make sure, like, you're reminding myself, like, don't feel guilty about it. Just take your time, and then you'll get back. You'll get back on it
Yeah,
sooner than later.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
No, definitely
Yeah, she's
not.
like, they be like, yeah, she all over the place. I like, look, I know that. Like, I know I can be random. Like, yo, my thoughts can be crazy. And you see my daughter, she like blasting right now. Hey, but yeah, I hope they'll think I'm crazy right now. Like, yeah, she all over the place. But I'm like, look, this is how my mind works. That's why I tell people, like, you got a plan doing this? Like, no, I don't. Like I
Oh,
don't. When I see
you're
my self
so
portrait
funny.
create in general, like yeah,
Yeah.
I'm random. I'm really, really random. That like I try to warn people like, yeah, I'm random. So please just try to catch
Nah, no, you're all good. You said a lot of like very inspiring things. So I
you.
think people will get that from the whole conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll talk to you later and thank
All
you
right.
again. Okay.
No problem. And you have a
Okay.
great day.
Yeah, you too. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, bye.